Okay, next. Follow along with me on page B13. Well, the last paragraph on B12. Many populations can live in the same area because each kind of living thing has a certain function in the community. For example, one function of a barn cat in a farm community is to eat mice and other rodents. What a living thing eats, when it eats, and where it eats are also part of its function. The way a living thing reproduces and raises its young is also part of its function. Its function, another word for function is also its niche. N-I-C-H-E, niche. Have you heard it called niche? Niche, N-I-C-H-E. That's a word that was one of our vocab words in science, I'm pretty sure, in 4th and 5th grade. Niche. It's where it eats, when it eats, what it eats, how it reproduces, how it gets along. That's an organism's niche. That's how it fits into the community. Now think about us, okay? We are a population. We are all of the same species, right? Us human beings. We are in a species. Okay? Now, what's the analogy for us in a community? The community is not really different population. Oh, let's do this. How about by school? So by school, central students, we're all from the same quote-unquote species, right? We're central. We are central. We are central. Okay? And another population of students goes to Washington Middle School. Okay? They go to Washington Middle School. Now, that's a population of students at Washington Middle School. We're a population of students here at Central. We are all a part of the same community. How we interact with them, how we always beat them in sports, that is how we interact with them. We are the predator. We are better than them. I'm just kidding. They are a great school. So, how we interact with them in the community is a part of our community. Now, as we go on, we'll figure out what an ecosystem is, okay? Here we go. You've learned that organisms interact with each other in communities. How do they interact with non-living things in their environment? Non-living things include soil, water, and air. Fish depend on water for getting oxygen and moving. Air carries pollen from one plant to another so that seeds can be made. These relationships form an ecosystem. Autumn? An ecosystem is made up of the living and non-living things in an area interacting with each other. So we have the population of Central, the population of District 52, 52, Washington Middle School. Those are two populations. You put us together, we all form a community. How we interact with them is our community. Now, the school we go to, the school they go to, the roads that we get to and from each other, that's all a part of our ecosystem. Now let's go with a real example. Back to the tide pool. Okay? The tide pool, population of snails. The tide pool, population of clams, or let's go mussels. You put them together, you have a community of organisms. You have a community. Does the community include the water that's there? Does it include the amount of oxygen that's in the water? No. Does it include the rock that it's in? No. But when we talk about how it's an ecosystem, and an ecosystem is the living and the non-living things, is the water part of an ecosystem in that tide pool? Yes. So we have population, how they interact, we have a community. The community interacts with the environment around it, that's the ecosystem. Nod your head up and down if you understand. Shake your head left and right if you don't understand. Okay, we're good. An ecosystem is made up of living and non-living things that interact with each other. Now, boys and girls, let's take this to our science article. Let's connect this to our science article. There's a population of polar bears in Manitoba, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's also now a population of grizzly bears in Manitoba. Prior to 1996, were there a population of grizzly bears there? No. But there are now. Okay, so we have two populations. How they interact, we don't know yet. Are they going to kill the little polar bears? Are they going to fight for the same food? So how these two are going to interact, we're not sure of. But what's that called? Two populations living together, working together, maybe not working, maybe fighting. How they interact is called what? So you have population. How they interact is called community. Now, what's the ecosystem? What's the ecosystem that these organisms are in? Adam? Okay, that's not the ecosystem. What's the ecosystem?
It's like the living and non-living things.
It's living and non-living. It's how did they get there? It's the paths that they took. It's the water that they're getting their fish from. It's the caves that they may hibernate in. That's the ecosystem. It's the air that they breathe. Okay, it's the wind beneath their wings. Oh, that's a bad song. No, okay, so it's all the things that are living and non-living, okay? It's the berries that they eat, the population of berries, the population of fish, the population of caribou, the population of moose. All those things together make a community, but all of the non-living things figured in with it, like the water that the fish are in, the air that they're breathing, that is all the ecosystem, okay? Now I've got a short video. This one deals with the ecosystem in California in a kelp forest. Kelp forest in California. Now, obviously a kelp forest is going to be where? Above water, underwater? Underwater. Kelp is like a seaweed. Okay, it starts off with very, very small, tiny little basic things called phytoplankton. Then we have mackerel that eat them. Then we have other organisms eat the mackerel. Okay, so we're going to watch this. And here we go.
1,000 or so zooplankton grazers. This is a biomass